Hey, everybody, good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. We are excited because in our backyard, which right now is about a little bit more than a quarter acre, we live on about 4.5 acres here, is one of our dreams to live in the country on a piece of property. And last year, praise the Lord, we were able to make that happen. But when we cleared the property, we discovered that the water table was a lot higher than we originally thought it was. And we have brought in 140 yards of sand to kind of level that out and create some drainage. So we haven't really had much of a yard, so it's like we've had all this property, but we can't use it. So I'm excited that hopefully today we're at the end of that, and that'll get finally properly graded, and then we'll be able to plant some grass seeds, and I can start going on my garden. So I'm glad spring is here, glad I can get my garden in. Hey, Becky. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Kimberly. I wanted to, today, I want to talk about, hey, Deanna, you know how a lot of times when you're a little kid, you have dreams, right? Big dreams. And sometimes they're like, you want to be president of the United States and an astronaut and a surgeon. There's all this, and a superhero, right? We all have to be a superhero. But we have all these big dreams, and people feel oftentimes like it's their job in life to help us be reasonable and experience reality. And the truth is, you can create your own reality, and I don't mean going insane. I don't mean that kind of reality. I mean, you really can create your dreams. And a lot of times people are trying to spare us from disappointment, which is why they're trying to help us be reasonable. But when you read the biography of anybody who's achieved anything, they did it oftentimes in the face of opposition. They did it, sometimes the only person that believed in themselves was themselves. So I've been thinking about that, and I thought, what are some things that we really all need in order to build our dreams? And I want to say that the first thing is to just start. So many times, because of either fear of disappointment, fear of failure, a lot of times we have a dream for something that hasn't been done, at least in our circle of friends before, and so we don't know what to do. And so we stand back. We're waiting for some kind of perfect time. There's no such thing as the perfect time. Yes, sometimes they're better than others, but you're going to actually create the perfect time by just starting on your dream. Take that first step. If it's a book that you're reading and the book's talking about maybe investing, take that first step and start some kind of investment, no matter how small. Take a class, start a business. There's a lot of businesses you can start with a low-end capital. I mean, just get moving, because here's what's going to happen. Once you start moving in the direction of your dream, you were created with something in your brain called a reticular activating system. And what that does, it's exactly why for example, you decided to buy a red car, and you think, oh, there's not very many red cars on the road, and you buy the red car, and you're going home from the dealer, and you're like, holy cow, look at all the red cars. Your reticular activating system is part of your brain's filter. It tries to filter out to protect you from information overwhelm. It tries to filter out what's unimportant from what's important. So once you start working on your dream and you start taking steps toward your dream, what happens is your brain literally opens up and looks for more things that are going to support the actions that you're taking. So that's why just getting started is the first thing you need to do in building your dreams. So if you love that, drop me an emoji or drop me a comment. The other thing that you need to do is understand that obstacles do not mean no. How many times have we started on our dream, we've started moving towards something, and we hit an obstacle, and we're like, well, if it was supposed to happen, these doors would be opening, not shutting. And I think that comes from TV, when like everything kind of like opens up for them because they've got 30 minutes to tell you a story. But in real life, obstacles don't mean no. The key is to discern the difference between a no, not this way, and something you have to push through. Sometimes you just have to push through the brick wall that set itself up in front of you. Sometimes the obstacle is a slight redirection, which can mean a change in strategy, perhaps a change in timing, maybe an indication of a new skill set you need to develop, or a new mindset. So learn to discern the difference between an obstacle that's a direction and an obstacle you have to push through. Either way, your goal is to get through that obstacle. Again, this is where I get really inspired by reading the lives of people who've done things that never happened before. Every single one of them had an obstacle. Every single one of them had something they had to overcome. A lot of times it was the people around them, which leads me to the third thing you need to build your dream, and that is a team. There's no such thing as a Lone Ranger. Even the Lone Ranger had Tonto, right? So build a team around you of people. If you're in a business like I am, building teams is what we do. It's what I do, is build teams. But a team can be the people around you who are going to support you. It's been said that your life is a summation of the 5 people closest to you. And think about it. If you're in a hard place in your life, who do you tend to surround yourself? People going through the same thing. If you're feeling broke, who do you surround yourself with? Yeah, people who are, broke, right? You're not going to surround yourself with people who are financially successful because you can't, at that time, relate to them. So one of the first things you need to do is start maybe changing the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Look for people who are looking to do what you do or who want to do what you do. Look for people who are moving forward. Look for people whose minds are opening up to new possibilities as they're pursuing their dreams. But build a team around you who can support you, who can help you discern the difference between an obstacle that you have to go through and an obstacle that you have to go around. People who are going to encourage you, people who are going to challenge you, make your mind stay open. It's really tempting to want to pull back as soon as we hit something. That team is going to make the difference for you. If you're in a conventional business, a team might include in some ways, like an attorney and an accountant and that kind of thing. But even everybody needs a team. So find your team. I actually wrote down some notes so that I stayed on track. The other thing is you need to learn the difference between contentment and complacency, between acceptance and resignation, between peace and capitulation. When you're in the middle of building, sometimes the energy is so huge and you're energized and you're excited. And if you're like me, you can't sleep, and I'll lay down at night and my brain will turn on, and all of a sudden there's all these new ideas floating, and I think I have to keep either a recorder, except I'd wake up my husband if I was recording, or a journal by my bedside because there's so many ideas coming. But I want to tell you that the difference is a lot of times you'll hear people say, well, maybe you should just be content with where you are. And that's complacency. Contentment has nothing to do with our status. All right? Contentment is finding some joy and some peace in the moment, even in the struggle sometimes. Building a dream is fighting. You're going to be fighting for it. You are going to be fighting for it. You're going to be fighting past obstacles. You're going to be fighting past naysayers. You're sometimes going to fight your own exhaustion. You're going to fight your own discouragement. You're going to fight what appears to be the reality of not achieving something. Again, you look at the biographies of famous people, Thomas Edison, right? 10,000 ways a light bulb didn't work. And interestingly enough, in those 10,000 ways it didn't work was data that led him to what did work. We just watched a TV show called Ina. It was on Netflix. And it was about all this particular group of physicians that made huge breakthroughs at the end of the 19th century. And one of them thought he discovered the cure for tuberculosis. Turned out not to be the cure. But what it was a diagnostic tool still used today. In the failure was the genesis of a new dream and a new purpose. So keep your mind open to what you're seeing as you're building your dreams. Peace, I want to talk a little bit real quick about acceptance and resignation. Acceptance is saying, hey, here's my skill set now. Here's where I'm at now. Here's what I can change. Resignation is a giving up. Complacency is a giving up. Capitulation is a giving up. Those are completely different from peace, contentment, and acceptance. So don't give up. Keep pushing on, because you were created for a purpose. You are not here by accident. And a lot of times we have to push through that purpose, all right? So focus on your dreams. Go for them. Change lives. You were here for a purpose. Discover it and grow it. God bless you. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.